We are now looking at a subtopic of factors affecting prices of supply, implying that what factors do we usually consider when we try to look at that responsiveness of quantity supply to changes in factors affecting supply. These are automatically, we are just repeating what we have already seen. We saw the factors which affect supply, and they are the ones which come back when we come to elasticity of supply. Factors affecting price, elasticity of supply, are exactly the same factors which affect supply, or the ones we had kept constant when we are stating the law of supply. But here we are looking at the responsiveness of quantity supplied as a result of any change in this. We are trying to look at the factors which affect supply, and these are the very same factors which we bring back when we look at factors affecting price, elasticity of supply, and we try to change them, because in our definition of prices of supply is elasticity of supply is the measure of degree of responsiveness of changes in factors affecting supply to changes in the quantity that is supplied. How are you going to respond in increasing or reducing supply as a result of any one of these factors changing at any one given time? So we have them enumerated here, the major ones. We have the cost of production, we have the gestation period, for the time taken in order to produce that commodity. Is it long or short? The level of technology. Technology plays a very important role in the supplying of a good, meaning that is it efficient or inefficient? Is it modern or backward? Then perishability and durability of a product. This one mainly deals with storage. Sometimes you may be able to produce and store. As the prices increases, you go into your stores and you increase the supply. Other commodities are durable, and for that matter, they can be around for a long period of time. And for that matter, how are they going to be responding? Time period. Our time is demarcated into a long period and a short period. Can you increase supply within a short period to respond to an increase in the price? Then degree of entry of new firms. Are there new firms that are interested in new line of production, such that with an increase in the price, they will join and increase the supply, or they are not there, they are limited, you should be only one, like in monopoly. Then political climate or atmosphere. This can either be favorable or unfavorable, stable or unstable, and either of those two, how do they influence the response to the quantity that will be supplied? Future price expectations. Usually, there are times when we expect prices either to increase or decrease. And how are these expectations going to influence our quantity supplied? Then availability of excess capacity. Excess here doesn't mean that we have more. No, it is that capacity which is not tapped, which is not used. In economics, we call it excess capacity. It's still there to be utilized, but you are not using it. And is it available? If it is there, then you can organize the factors of production so that you tap your capacity up to maximum and increase supply. But if it is not there, it is lacking, then there is no way you can increase the supply even if prices increase. Then government policy. Is government taxing that commodity, or is it subsidizing it? And whichever policy it is adopting, it will have its own impact on the quantity supplied. So let's try to study one by one. Cost of production. Cost of production, they can either be high or they can be low. And when we have high costs of production, that is, the producer is spending a lot of money to produce a given level of output. This is going to reduce on his profitability, meaning that whenever the cost of production or the cost of producing a good are very high, they reduce on the profitability, and after fair calculations by the producer, he's going to end up not responding by increasing the supply, because it will still be more expensive for him to produce. So this will lead to inelastic supply. production tend to lead to inelastic supply, yet low cost of production lead to elastic supply. That's how we explain our point of cost of production. That whenever costs of production are high, they tend to make the producer lose on profitability, and those who are very calculative, they will respond by not increasing the supply in big numbers, though the increase in price may be high. Yet, when the cost of production is low, there they are jubilating. An increase in the price will make them mobilize their available resources and end up by responding with a big quantity supplied on the market, making the supply to be elastic. And with the gestation period, this is the time between planting and maturing, or assembling and coming out with a final product. So it can either be long or short. You can have either a long gestation period, like for agricultural commodities, or a short gestation period, like for industrial products. For industrial products, it's just a matter of assembling the factors of production or variables, and you come out with an output within a short period of time. Yet for agricultural commodities, you may have to wait for months and months, assuming that there is an increase in the demand for meat. It is not easy for you to raise cows in 1 week and they mature and you begin supplying the meat from the cows. You have to wait until the cow gets pregnant, waits for 9 months, then it bears a calf, and then that calf has to grow, and maybe after 1 year or 3 years, it is ready to supply meat. So that is a long period of time. However high the prices of meat may increase, the supply of meat is not going to increase correspondingly. So a long gestation period, for that matter, is going to give us inelastic supply. So supply is going to be inelastic if the gestation period is long, but where it is short, the supply for that commodity is going to be elastic. Technology. Technology can either be efficient or inefficient. We have our technology here, where it is inefficient and where it is efficient. So in your answer, you have to mention whether you are talking of inefficient method of production or an efficient method of production. Definitely, where it is inefficient, you find that it is not going to be easy to increase the supply because it is slow, it is outdated, it keeps on breaking down now and again, so supply cannot be increased, which makes the supply to be inelastic. So with inefficient methods of production technology, supply is inelastic, yet where the efficient, modern, and highly productive, supply is going to be elastic. When you come to the perishability or durability of a product, again the same thing has to be evaluated. You look at a product which is durable. Is it durable? Is it perishable? What of perishable commodities? These ones cannot be stored. Cannot be stored for long. Stored for long. Yet the durable can be stored and their supply increased. Increased the supply on the market. So you look at mainly vegetables. If you are that farmer or supplier who is dealing in the supply of nakati and any other grains or vegetables, you find that, assuming that the price of nakati or vegetables increased, you are supposed to also go ahead and increase the supply of the vegetables. But you find that the season is over. They are, first of all, grown seasonally. They are affected by natural factors, and first of all, and then they become perishable. So you cannot store them for a long period of time. If price increase, you are supposed to respond by increasing the quantity supplied thereof. But now they are out of season and you did not have anything stored, not because you never wanted to store, but because they are highly perishable. So, however much the prices may increase, there is no way you are going to increase the supply of those perishable commodities, which makes their supply to be inelastic. So usually, commodities which are perishable, their supply is inelastic, yet those which are durable, their supply is elastic, meaning that if the price has increased, it is very easy for you to increase their availability on the market. Simply go to your stores, simply go to your strong rooms where you may have kept them or preserved them, take out what is needed and increase the amount which is required on the market due to the high price. So commodities which cannot be stored, usually they are perishable and their supply is inelastic. Yet those which can be stored and their supply can be increased to correspond to an increase in the price, their supply is elastic. Then time period. Time period is either short or long. It is either short or you have a long time. So we call them short run and long run. In the short run, the supply of many commodities is inelastic. The time is too short for you to make changes. To make changes in the production process, maybe hire more factors of production, buy a new technique or new machine. So the time is too short and it's not permissive for you to introduce any kind of positive changes which makes your supply to be squeezed and limited, where hence inelastic. Yet when you have enough time, a year, many months, that is good enough for you to mobilize whatever you want. You can even shift from the production of a commodity whose price is low and go to the production of another commodity whose price is high, which makes the supply of that commodity to be elastic. It is responding. So the supply of commodities in the long run, for most of them, is elastic, yet within the short run, it is inelastic. Natural factors. How do they affect our elasticity of supply? Natural factors can either be in our favor or they are unfavorable. Whenever they are favorable, they lead to increased supply. Whenever they are unfavorable, they lead to reduced supply. And whenever supply increases, that one makes it to be elastic, and whenever it simply reduces, that makes it to be inelastic. So supply will be inelastic when natural factors negatively affect the production process. But when they favorably affect the production process, they is going to make our supply for a particular commodity to be elastic. Degree of entry of new firms. How does entry of new firms affect our supply? It either creates many suppliers or it creates few suppliers. Where there are many, definitely supply increases. Where there are few, supply is limited. And whenever supply increases because of the availability of many firms entering that line of production, this makes our supply to be elastic. So supply will be elastic, yet where there are few, however much you want to have plentiful supply of that commodity on the market as a result of increased price, because the law gives you only few suppliers, this will make the supply of that particular commodity with the few suppliers to be inelastic. Then political climate or political atmosphere. Definitely this one has also an influence on our elasticity of supply. And the political atmosphere can either be stable or unstable. Wherever it is stable, people are in tranquility and they are in position to increase the supply of their products. Yet, wherever they are unstable, they are on the run and they are disorganized, hence unable to concentrate on increasing production. Hence, stable economic political climate leads to elastic supply, yet when it is unstable and people are not constantly producing, the supply of goods becomes inelastic. Then we have the future price expectations. You can expect the price to increase. You can expect the price to increase in the future. Increased price. Or it can be a decrease in the price. So if your future expectation is an increase in price, definitely being a producer who is aiming at profit maximization, you are not going to increase supply now when the price is low. You will wait for that time in the future when the price is high and also go ahead and increase supply. So when the expectation in the future is over an increased price, this reduces supply and makes it to be inelastic. So the supply of that good, which is expected to increase in future, will have inelastic supply at the current time, because people are waiting for that time in the future when the price will be high and they respond to the low supply, that at a higher price also supply increases. But now, if they are not going to be supplying, hence making it to be inelastic. Yet when they expect a decrease in price, oh my God, nobody wants to make a loss. You find that maybe after Christmas prices are going to fall. You find that definitely you are going to reduce the supply of that commodity. And you find that if you expect a decrease in price, automatically the demand, the supply is going to be elastic when the price is still high. Supply is going to be elastic at the current price. At the current price. Because in the future the price will be low, so if it is going to be low, there won't be that corresponding increase in supply, because we don't increase supply when prices are low, obeying the law of demand. But when you are expecting an increase, there you just keep quiet. But now, when you're expecting a decrease, increase supply now, when the prices are still high, don't wait for when there is a decrease in their price. Then availability of excess capacity. That is when you have more land that is idle. That idle land is what we call excess capacity, unused land. And you find that the prices are increasing of beans. Beans mature within a short period of time, 3 months, and you're harvesting. You can utilize that land, plant more beans, and increase the supply of beans. Hence, we find that the existence or presence of excess capacity leads to elastic supply. Yet absence, where you're already operating at the maximum or optimum and there is no more room of expanding your scale of production, there the supply is going to be inelastic. You won't be able to increase the supply to respond to a change or an increase in the price. When you have that potential, the land is available, you are in a factory, but you find that all the machines are not being used because the demand was not there, but now the demand is there, indicated by the increase in price. Definitely use all the machines to produce a large quantity, and there you'll be able to respond by increasing the quantity supply in line with the increase in the price. Then we have government policy of taxation and subsidization. A tax increases the cost of production of the producer, yet a subsidy reduces the cost of production of a producer. We have already seen that whenever the cost of production are high, supply is inelastic, yet when the costs of production are low, supply is inelastic. So for that matter, we can conclude that whenever government policy is that one of taxation, which reduces on the profitability and increases on the cost of production, it leads to inelastic supply. Yet is subsidizing and it is sharing the cost of production with the supplier, and to make the price to be low, you find that in the long run, supply is going to be elastic. So subsidies lead to elastic supply, yet taxes lead to inelastic supply. Why? Taxes increase the cost of production and reduce the profitability, making the producers and suppliers to ignore and reduce the supply of that commodity. Yet, where government is subsidizing, many people are going to be happy. They are having low cost of production. They'll be encouraged to produce more of that commodity so that they can be able to supply plentiful quantity, responding to the increase in the price. So that's how you can explain the factors affecting elasticity or supply. They are the same factors which affect supply, except that now we are looking at how we use them to explain elasticity. Cost of production being high, supply is inelastic. Where they are low, supply is elastic. Gestation period being long, supply is inelastic. Yet where it is short, supply is elastic. Level of technology being efficient, supply is inelastic. But where it is modern and efficient, the supply is elastic. Perishability and durability of a product, durable commodities can be stored, hence their supply is elastic. Yet perishable commodities cannot be stored, making their supply to be inelastic. Time period, in the short run, you cannot make any meaningful adjustments, making supply to be inelastic. Yet when you have a long time available to you, you can have all the required changes, making supply to be elastic. Natural factors, wherever they are favorable, they introduce a bigger supply, which is elastic, and whenever they are unfavorable, they reduce supply. However high the prices may increase, there is not enough quantity to be put on the market, making it inelastic. Degree of entry of new farms, where you are allowed to have many farms joining and there is no production, it makes supply to be elastic. Yet where there is limitation of number of producers, that makes the supply to be inelastic. Like when you are a monopoly, you are the only producer. However high the prices may increase, you may not have the capacity to satisfy the market alone, and supply will be inelastic. Prices will be rising, but you are not able to supply all the desired quantity because you are only one. There is limitation on who is to supply that commodity. Political atmosphere or climate, we have also observed that. I'm just summarizing that where it is stable, supply is elastic. People are concentrated in the production of goods and services without any disturbance, hence increasing the supply. Yet where they are unstable, they are always on the run for their dear life and property, which makes the supply to be inelastic. Then future price expectations, expecting an increase in the price in the future will make you not to produce now, so that you wait to produce when the price is high and get maximum profits. But when you're expecting a low price, no way. Till now, when the price is still high, so you supply more now, making the supply to be elastic. Then excess capacity, where it is around, supply is elastic. Where you don't have any more resources to use, supply is inelastic. Government policy of taxation, taxes reduce profitability, increase the cost of production, hence inelastic supply. But a subsidy eases the production process for the supplier, making the supply to be elastic. That is all we need to know on how to look at changes or factors which affect the elasticity of supply when they are stated in their general way. And we try to bring out the positive and the negative part of it in the same explanation. So you can paragraph your work, and one paragraph may be explaining the positive side, and the other paragraph may be explaining the negative side. But there are also questions which are specific, and they give you the required side, which may be negative or positive, and you have to give only one side. For example, like this one. Factors responsible factors responsible for elastic supply of a commodity. Elastic supply of a commodity. Here the examiner is very specific and wants only factors responsible for elastic supply. Don't bother to bring those that bring about the inelastic supply. It is a one-sided kind of question. And we have already seen them in the general discussion. So now you simply have to pick those that are responsible. Cost of production, we saw that if the cost of production are low. So low costs of production. Low cost of production is one of the factors responsible for elastic supply. Then efficient technology. Then many suppliers available, that is when many are free to join that line of production. Then we have favorable natural factors. Then we also have the durable goods, durable commodities. We have seen that their supply is elastic, durable commodities. We have also seen that in the long run or long period of time, we are able to make the necessary adjustments in order to come up with a given amount of supply. Then natural factors, we have already seen them, that whenever they are favorable, they do the same. Then expectation of a decrease in price in future. You'd rather produce now when the price is still high than when it is low in the future. We have also seen that those producers who have excess capacity, presence of excess capacity, they can mobilize whatever is not used and put it under utilization and increase the supply. Then government policy or giving subsidization reduces the cost of production and will make the suppliers to go ahead and supply more goods and services. And you also have the political climate. Okay, stable political climate. So that is to do with elastic supply. What about inelastic supply? So if here they are low, here they are going to be high. Cost of production. Then inefficient techniques of production. also have few or limited suppliers or farms. We also have perishable commodity. It may be perishable one, cannot be stored, hence not easy to increase its supply. The time may be too short. We are operating in the short run. We will have limited time for adjustments. Limited time for adjustments. Then wherever there is an expectation of increased prices in future, you'd rather not produce now when the prices are low, but wait, and as you are waiting, you are making supply to be inelastic. Absence or unused potential, which we call excess capacity in economics. Excess capacity, and also government policy or taxation. Taxes are going to make supply inelastic, and then political instability and insecurity. Political presence of instability and insecurity. So there you are able to separate which goes for which. When you are looking for elastic supply, you phrase them in this way: low cost, efficient, and whatever, so that they are able to give you an increase in supply. Yet with elastic supply, they are usually not favoring more production. Even if the price increase, you find that people are not willing to increase the supply of that particular good or service because of those factors being unfavorable. And lastly, on elasticity, let's try to see the significance, the rationale, the importance of studying price elasticity of supply. When do we ever have it used in our real life situations? How is it useful in our economics? So, importance of price elasticity of supply. Importance of price elasticity supply. The first importance is that it is used by government in formulating taxation policy. Used by government in formulating taxation policy. How? Commodities with elastic supply. Commodities with elastic supply will not be taxed by government because they are, in most cases, desired by the society. So more tax revenue is got by the government from taxing those goods whose supply is inelastic. And you find that for those which are inelastic, usually the taxes are low because the government knows that it will not be able to have their supply increase, and you find that will be affecting the producer's profitability. Then it is used in the devaluation policy. The supply of exports should be price elastic, such that producers of exports should be able to increase production and supply more, hence increasing the demand for exports. Well, devaluation is a policy where you tend to reduce the value of your currency in relation to the currencies of other countries, so that you are in position to increase the quantity exported and improve on your balance of payments position. And you find that here, whenever devaluation is being considered, you look at your exports, which you want to supply more. Are they in that category which is of elastic supply? So if they are of elastic supply, then you act accordingly. Then it is used to determine the incidence of a tax. Who actually pays the tax? Is it going to be the producer or the consumer? So where the commodities are having inelastic supply, usually the tax is paid by the producer, and that tax is going to make our supplier have less profitability. And when the price elasticity is elastic, definitely the tax is going to be low. It is also used to determine the wage rate. Labor which has an elastic supply, those are the professionals who are highly trained and they are rare to come across. You find that they use their inelastic supply to be paid higher wages, like in Uganda, the scientists. If you are to be a doctor, after your A-level, you have to study for another 7 years, and that makes your supply not to be easy, which is being inelastic. And for that matter, that's why you qualify to get a higher wage than those who studied arts, and their time of study is shorter compared to that one of a scientist. So usually those are the areas where elasticity of supply is considered to determine the taxation policy, to look at devaluation, to determine the incidence of a tax, and then the wage rate.